Hello and welcome to Domain 2 of the Cybersecurity exam. The title of Domain 2 is Threats, Vulnerabilities, and Mitigations. So we'll be starting with Section 2.1, titled Compare and Contrast Common Threat Actors and Motivations. In this section, we'll be talking about threat actors, their attributes, and their motivations. So, who is a threat actor? A threat actor is a person or group behind a cyber attack. In simple terms, it answers the question, who is attacking the system? That is a threat actor. There are different types of threat actors that attack systems for different reasons. We have 6 of them that we will be covering for this exam. Number 1 is called nation-state actors. These are attackers sponsored by a government. These attacks are usually carried out against other countries to steal sensitive information, disrupt critical systems like power, banking, or communication. Nation-state attackers are highly skilled and well-funded. For the exam, remember nation-state means political or national interest. The second threat actor is known as the unskilled attacker, also called a script kiddie. An unskilled attacker has little or no technical knowledge. They use tools made by others and often download scripts from the internet. They usually attack for fun or attention. They may not be highly skilled, but they can still cause damage. For the exam, remember unskilled attacker equals low skill. The third threat actor is known as a hacktivist. A hacktivist attacks systems to support a cause or belief. Their motivation may be political, social, or religious. They often try to send a message, not make money. For the exam, remember, hacktivist equals ideology over profit. The fourth threat actor is an insider threat. An insider threat comes from within the organization. This could be an employee, contractor, or former employee. Insiders can cause harm intentionally or by accident. They are dangerous because they already have trusted access. For the exam, remember, insider threat equals trusted access, misused. The fifth threat actor is known as organized crime. Organized crime groups carry out attacks in a coordinated and professional way. They often perform ransomware attacks, identity theft, and credit card fraud. They are well-funded, persistent, and highly organized. For the exam, remember, organized crime equals financial gain. The last threat actor you need to know is shadow IT. Shadow IT happens when employees use technology without IT approval. Examples include personal cloud storage, unauthorized software, or personal devices on work networks. This increases risk because security teams cannot protect what they do not know exists. For the exam, remember, shadow IT equals hidden risk. Understanding threat actors helps security professionals anticipate attacks, reduce risk, and select appropriate defenses. We are still in Section 2.1. Now we move from identifying threat actors to the attributes of threat actors. The first attribute is internal versus external. This could be an employee, contractor, or trusted partner. An external threat actor is someone outside the organization, such as actors, criminal groups, or foreign governments. So for the exam, remember internal already has access. External must break in. The second attribute is resources and funding. Resources and funding describe how much money, tools, and support a threat actor has. Attackers with more resources can buy advanced tools, spend more time planning attacks, launch larger and longer attacks. For example, nation-state actors have very high funding. Governor's credit has strong financial backing. Unskilled attackers have little to no resources. For the exam, remember, more money usually means more dangerous attacks. Now let's look at the third and final attribute of threat actors. This is called the level of sophistication and capability. In simple terms, this tells us how skilled and advanced the attacker is. We can group attackers into 2 main levels. First, low sophistication attackers. These attackers use basic tools. They often reuse tools created by others, and their attacks are easier to detect. A good example here is a script kiddie. They have low skill and limited capability. Now on the other side, we have high sophistication attackers. These are highly skilled and advanced. They create custom malware, use stealth techniques, and can avoid detection for long periods. A common example is nation-state actors. They are well-trained, well-funded, and very difficult to stop. So for the exam, remember this key point. Higher sophistication equals higher risk. Now to wrap up this section. Threat actor attributes help us understand three important things: where the attacker is coming from, how much damage they can cause, and how difficult they are to detect and stop. Let us get into the last subtopic of section 2.1, which is the motivation of the threat actors. Motivation explains why a threat actor attacks a system. What motive do they have? What is their motive? For the exam, you must be able to match the attack to the reason behind it. That's part of what you need to know for this Security Plus exam. There are 10 motivation to study for the exam. Motivation 1, data exfiltration. Data exfiltration means stealing data and taking it out of an organization. This data can include personal information, financial records, or trade secrets. For the exam, remember, exfiltration equals stealing and removing data. Motivation 2, espionage. Espionage means spying through cyber attacks. The goal is to monitor activities, steal confidential information, and gather intelligence. This is commonly associated with nation-state actors. For the exam, remember, espionage equals spying. Motivation 3, service disruption, destruction. This motivation focuses on shutting systems down or making them unavailable. Examples include denial of service attacks and website outages. The goal is to interrupt normal operations. For the exam, remember, disruption equals stop the service. Motivation 4, blackmail, extortion. Blackmail involves threatening to release stolen data unless demands are met. This is often seen in ransomware and extortion attacks. For the exam, remember, blackmail equals pay or be exposed. Motivation 5, financial gain. This is when attackers are motivated by money. Examples include ransomware, credit card theft, and fraud. This motivation is common with organized crime groups. For the exam, remember, financial gain equals money is the goal. Motivation 6, ideology, political or philosophical. Some attackers act based on beliefs or ideology. They may attack systems to promote a cause, protest, or make a political statement. This is common with hacktivists. For the exam, remember, ideology equals beliefs over profit. Motivation 7, ethical, white hat. Ethical motivation involves testing security without malicious intent. Examples include penetration testing and bug bounty programs. These actions are done with permission. For the exam, remember, ethical equals allowed and legal. Motivation 8, revenge. Revenge-based attacks happen when someone feels wronged. This is common with disgruntled employees or former insiders. The goal is often to cause harm or embarrassment. For the exam, remember, revenge equals personal motivation. Motivation 9, chaos, destruction for disruption. Some attackers simply want to create confusion and instability. They may deface websites or spread misinformation or create panic. The goal is disruption, not money. For the exam, remember, chaos equals disruption for its own sake. Motivation 10, war, cyber warfare. Cyber warfare involves attacks between nations during conflicts. Targets may include military systems, power grids, or communication networks. Cyber warfare is now part of modern warfare. For the exam, remember, war equals nation versus nation. Let us wrap up what we talked about in this lesson. Motivation answers the question, why did the attack happen? Understanding motivation helps security teams predict behavior and choose the right defenses. Transition. That brings us to the end of section 2.1. Compare and contrast common threat actors and motivations. You now understand threat actors, their attributes, and their motivations. Next, we'll move into section 2.2, explain common threat vectors and attack surfaces. I'll see you there.